So these are our new filters for the Osmo Pocket 3. They magnetize right onto the front of it, so they're super easy to install and remove. We basically have three different types for them. We've got the shutter collection, which is just the straight ND filters. It's designed to only reduce light, so it's just gonna take your shutter speed down from whatever level it's at to double frame rate. And then we've got the Vivid collection, so this one's gonna reduce light, but it's also a polarizer built in. So when you rotate this tiny little bezel on the front, it's actually gonna polarize the image. And then we also have just a regular CP filter, so this is only gonna reduce light a very, very little amount, but it's also gonna polarize everything. So this is really good for photos or times when you don't need your shutter speed at double the frame rate. So the Vivid and the shutter collection are gonna be your two mainly for video or even time-lapse and hyperlapse stuff. And then your CP filter is just gonna be for photography, reducing reflections and increasing color saturation. So inside of the shutter collection, you have an ND8 filter, an ND32 filter, and an ND128 filter. And this is gonna cover absolutely everything that you need from sunrise all the way to midday to sunset. Same thing with the Vivid collection, that's gonna be an ND8 PL, an ND32 PL, and an ND128 PL. And the reason why that we're gapping these is because in order to get, so if you want an ND16 effect, all you need to do is put the ND32 filter on and increase ISO from 100 to 200, and that's gonna give you the exact same exposure value as an ND16 would with ISO 100. And it's totally fine to move between 100 and 400 ISO on this camera. It can all absolutely handle it when you're shooting outside. So the CP filter is also pretty simple to use for photos. You just magnetize it right onto the front there, and then you can see a little white line laser etched onto this thing if you look carefully. That's going to be the linear polarization setting. Just go ahead and put that to the very top if you want a nice broad setting, very similar to polarized sunglasses, how those are set linearly. You're not rotating your sunglasses all the time. It's just a nice broad linear setting. Now, if you want to really get into it and polarize each specific scene, and this is going to be relative to the sun, as you move, you can rotate it and find the maximum polarization for that angle, and then you can move the subject over here, say, and rotate it for that angle. Those are going to both have different maximum polarization angles. And this also applies to the Vivid collections, the ND polarizers. It's got that little line on the top, that white laser etched line, that's going to be the linear polarization setting. That's good if you're moving around, changing angles a bunch. It's going to reduce a pretty broad amount of reflections coming up off the ground. Or you can really set polarization for each specific scene relative to the sun. Say you're shooting this way, the sun's over here. This is going to have a different polarization angle than if you're shooting over here. So you just kind of look through the viewfinder, rotate it until you see the glare reduction that you like, and you're ready to shoot. So to summarize, your Vivid and your shutter collection pretty much just used for getting your shutter speed at double your frame rate, whereas the CP filter is gonna be really sick for reducing reflections, which is gonna increase color saturation when you're using this thing for photo. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, happy to answer for them, or drop a comment below. I'm Jeff, and I'll see you on the next one.